Okay, everybody, to get ready for the physics class, I want to show you how to set up your Google Docs so you can type physics commands in real easy and save you a lot of time. We want to save time. We don't want you slaving away for no reason. So you're going to open this Google Docs shortcut for physics, and you're going to have your own account open when you do this. All right, you cannot do this from somebody else's account. I could give you these shortcuts, except it is attached to the account and doesn't transfer over with the document. So make sure you're in your own Google account and open this document. And then what you're going to do is the easiest way to do this is to open two documents. So I'm going to shrink my screen a little bit here, drag it over. So I've got it on half, and then I'm going to open my daughter's account over here because her account won't have these shortcuts built in. So I can show you what it's going to look like. All right. So there's the account there. I'm going to go to my daughter's drive here. And I'm going to open up a new document. Okay, so holy moly slowly. Okay, so how do I create one of these wonderful shortcuts I've come up for with you? Well, you pick this symbol, the plus or minus sign. We need that when we're doing error. So you're going to go to Tools, Preferences, and click Substitutions. And then you're going to go into With, Control Paste, and get it. Now, my thing is not carried over. Going to Control, collect that. Oh my gosh. The two programs are Screencastify is fighting for the cursor. So I'm going to put with. All right. So I got my plus or minus sign in there, and I want a word to access that. Well, I don't want the word plus. So I've used plus with a double S. All the words I've shown on the right side to substitute have no other equivalent in the language, so you won't have words changing on you. Like you don't want the word division always changing to the division sign. Now that that's programmed in, anytime I type in the word plus and hit space, it'll replace it with that. The ones that you really want access to a lot, like one of my favorites is mid dot. And there's the mid dot here, not Midgard, mid dot. So we take this mid dot, and I go to Tools, Preferences, Substitutions. I'm going to get my mid dot, and now there. So instead of typing X times Y, which does not look correct, you can just do X mid dot Y or T or whatever, and you've got it in there. All right. So these substitutions have one flaw. You have to have a space on either side of the word. So if I write X mid dot Y, it doesn't know what to do with that. When I write X space mid dot Y, then it puts the space, the dot in there, but you have extra spacing around, you see? So that's easily enough to fix. And let's go back to my original document. Which are the ones I want you to have programmed? The plus or minus sign, because, therefore, approximately. Tilde is another way of saying approximately. There's division sign here. There's big mult and small multiply. Mid dot is really what we want you to use. The small multiply is what you use in exponential form. Proportion, not too often. Square root V bar for V average, or VAV for V average written this way. Ident and def ident. This means this is a definition for you. RAR is right arrow. You can also get to the right arrow by doing dash dash greater than sign space, but that takes a bunch of keystrokes. Wouldn't you rather just type RAR and you get that right arrow? Init is for initial value. Finite is for final value. Prime is for final. Naught and squared. I want you to have these programmed. You're going to save a ton of time. Then some Latin letters: delta, lambda, frequency, period, and mu or mu. Those are going to be used continuously. Why can't you use letter F for frequency? We want it written fancy. So you want those programmed in. And this is sum. So I just said ASD for summation, because if I use any combination of the word sum, it's going to knock out real words you want. Pi is a pretty obvious one. And I can't spell the word pi anymore. The only way I can get the word pi in here without it overwriting is to do this, pi. And then I can go in here, and I have to be really careful not to type anything around it. It'll be fine unless I hit the space key. Theta. Oh boy, we want theta in there. I chose THTH in my shortcut because there's no word in the English language that has THTH together. You can use the word theta, but again, you'll never be able to type the word theta after that. These settings you can shut off. And I would like you to program in the words sine, cosine, and tangent to bring up this. You simply select all this, copy it into that tools and preferences, and then every time you want to use the sine function, you can just type the word sine and it'll automatically finish it for you. Watch down here. If I say the sine equals, 7, isn't that much nicer and more civilized? And I've even thrown in a couple of equations here. One of the equations we use a lot is the distance quadratic formula. So now you can just type in d quad and your formula appears. This could save you hours of time. So these are the ones I think would be worth your effort, particularly if you're going to take grade 12 physics. The optional ones are the mass of the Earth and the radius of the Earth, but it's kind of convenient. I have a longer list of my own, but eventually you're going to have mass of the electron, all these other things, and it can really save you a lot of time. So this will be your first assignment in physics, is to set up your keyboard shortcuts so you can move like the wind when you're working with Google Docs and typing up all your assignments. You, of course, have the option to do all your assignments by hand and attach them as pictures, but many students have gotten really good at keyboard formulas. You just got to program in some shortcuts to make it happen. So that'll be your first physics assignment.